From the campus of BC High School here in South Boston, Massachusetts, it's a Little East lacrosse matchup between the UMass Boston Beacons 4-9 on the year, 0-5 in conference play, and the University of Southern Maine Huskies 6-5 on the year, 1-4 in Little East play. These teams occupy the bottom two spots in the conference standings. Both need to win out to make the conference tournament. Top 6 teams in the Little East get in. A win today and a win next time out for both the Beacons and the Huskies could give them a shot at making the Little East postseason tournament. We'll take a look at the statistical matchup here between Southern Maine and UMass Boston. In a series, the Beacons have won 11 of the 14 head-to-head matchups. Some pretty equal numbers when you look at a bunch of the different stats. The biggest difference, though, is that Southern Maine defense, they allow only about 8 goals a game. They've been very good on the defensive end, backboned by their freshman goaltender, Zach Bissett, who stopped about 56% of the shots he's faced. Another big one to watch, the face-offs. Ryan Stahl leads the way for Southern Maine with a 59% face-off percentage. As a team, USM has won more than 60% of their draws, while the Beacons have won just 46%. So we'll see what that does when these teams go head-to-head. Also, senior day here for the Beacons, so we'll run you through the 8 seniors and their career that they've had with UMass Boston. We'll start with Danny Delpha, 3-time All-Little East performer, senior from Walpole, Massachusetts. Might be a 4-year All-Conference performer after this year. More than 170 career points. That's 6th all-time for the Beacons. Comes into today's contest with 104 career goals. So Donnie Delpha, the senior, one of the captains on this UMass Boston squad. Our first senior today. Senior number 2 is Xavier Donaldson, 40-year member of the Beacons. Donaldson was the Beacons' go-to face-off man for the past couple of seasons. This year, season-ending injury early on in the season, which was a big blow to the Beacons. But over those past 4 seasons, he was really a tremendous face-off guy. 55 career ground balls, 46 games played. Big loss for the Beacons this year with his season-ending injury, but he's here today on Senior Day. Xavier Donaldson from Centerville, Massachusetts. Third senior is Daniel Watson. Watson, a 3-year member of the program, battled through injury to become the Beacons' most vocal leader. Last season, Daniel unloaded career-high 4 goals, pair of assists in the Beacons' 8-win season. He's also picked up 55 career ground balls. He's a tremendous, well-rounded player, offense and defense. Pair of assists this season along with 13 ground balls. He's from Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Again, Daniel Watson. Another one of those top scorers for the Beacons, senior Dom Fischera from Scituate, Massachusetts. One of the Beacons' most dedicated players. Overcome multiple hurdles, including some serious injuries along the way. 60th career game for Dom Fischera this afternoon, coming off a severe knee injury in the fall, but he worked his way back on for his last year. 55 career goals, 26 career assists, game winner, and 7 man-up goals in Fischera's career. Well, let's run you through to Tim Milch. Beacons go-to defenseman. Milch, one of 3 starting long pole defensemen. His 54th career game today. 51 caused turnovers in his career. That's second all-time. 59 ground balls as well. Top 3 among fellow seniors. Leader both on and off the field. Tim's improved all of his teammates all 4 seasons. And from Marshfield, Massachusetts, Tim Milch. Running you through to Ryan McGough, the 6th senior. You see him on crutches. Been a tough end to his senior season from Charlestown, Massachusetts. 17 goals this year before a season-ending knee injury. But he's been a consistent player each of the past 4 years. The most unfortunate thing about his knee injury is he'll end his career with 99 career points, 72 goals, 27 assists, also 81 ground balls. 5 goals each of the first 2 games this year for him from Charlestown. Ryan McGough. Another go-to attack for the Beacons. Powers immediately made an impact. 7th senior is John Powers, go-to attackman for the Beacons. Powers immediately made an impact at UMass Boston in his first year in 2013. Transfer from Division II Assumption College. 116 career points for John Powers, 61 goals, 55 assists, 3 career game-winning goals for the Beacons. This season, John scored at least 1 point in every game, netted at least 1 goal in all but 4 games. Season high 4 points in 2 different games, including a hat trick against Gordon College. He's also from Marshfield. Again, it's John Powers. Final senior, Joe Johnson. 1-year member of the Beacons. Johnson joined the team this year, played in 12 of 13 games this season. 3 goals, 3 assists, also well-rounded defensive senior. Joe had a goal and 3 assists in his first ever game when they beat Anna Maria College 20-2. He's from nearby Roxbury. Again, Joe Johnson. So that's your group of 8 seniors for the Beacons, who have helped lead UMass Boston to some really solid years, including an 8-10 year last year and a 6 seed in Middle East. Daniel Watson will get honored again at the end, one of the real leaders on this team. In full gear today, even though season-ending injury will keep him out of the game. But a guy like Donaldson deserves all the credit he gets. Donaldson in his career had a really good year last year, about 50% of the face-off X and 27 ground balls. So it's the Beacons and the University of Southern Maine Huskies coming up. UMass Boston 4-9, 0-5 in Little East play. Beacons come in after a 12-8 loss to Plymouth State. So they outscored Plymouth State 7-2 in the second half. 19 saves in the game for Craig Freehill, the goalie for UMass Boston. Meanwhile, for the University of Southern Maine, they lost to a very talented Keene State team, 19-7 on Saturday. It's a good resurgence for the University of Southern Maine this year. They were 2-13 last year, 0-7 in conference play. But they've been tremendous this season. With that 6-5 record, we'll now pause momentarily for the national anthem. First, take a look at the starting lineups. For USM at attack, Keegan Smith, Seth Wing, and Tyler Jameson. At the midfield, Austin Watts, Eddie Barrasso, and the face-off man Ryan Saul. And defensively, Spencer Tuttle, James Doyle, and Sam Hornblower. The goalie for USM is freshman Zach Bissett out of Redfield, Maine. a 55.7% save percentage this year for Southern Maine's freshman goalie. Big reason why Southern Maine's worked out to a 6-5 record this year. Flip things around for UMass Boston. Beacons 4-9 on the season. We'll run you through the starting lineup quickly here. Beacons have their starting attack: Noah Ellis, John Powers, and Dom Fischera. Seniors Powers and Fischera. Junior Noah Ellis, who leads the team this year with 29 goals. At midfield for the Beacons, Joseph Cunningham out there for the face-off, a junior from Hudson, Mass. Phil Trong out there as well, the face-off guy, 50% face-off this year. Donnie Delpha, the senior midfielder. And defensively, Sam LeBlanc, Tom Milch, and Daniel Colho, the three close defenders for the Beacons. Craig Freehill back in goal after a tremendous game. 19 saves last time out in the 4-goal loss to Plymouth State. Now, Beacons in last place in the Little East, USM in 7th place. UMass Boston 2 games behind UMass Dartmouth and Western Connecticut State. USM 1 game back of UMass Dartmouth and Western Connecticut State for that 6th and final playoff spot. Beacons will need back-to-back wins against Southern Maine and UMass Dartmouth. They need some help along the way, including a UMass Dartmouth loss to Salem State this evening in this rare midweek conference day when each Little East team is in conference action this afternoon. Plymouth State and Keene State play at 5. It's a battle for first place. Plymouth State 5-0, Keene State 5-0 in conference play. East Con and West Con play at 7, along with Salem State and UMass Dartmouth. We'll take a break now for the national anthem. And we're set for action between UMass Boston and the University of Southern Maine here on LittleEast.tv. Bill Spalding with you on the campus of Boston College High School, just a stone's throw away from the Beacons athletic facility. Literally, you climb the fence and you're on UMass Boston campus just off to our right, along with the bay as well. But this has been a nomadic season for the Beacons with the facilities under construction. Be a beautiful turf field for UMass Boston next year, but this year had to deal with just 3 home games, and all their home games played technically away from home. Beacons 4-9. They're looking to snap out of a losing streak. UMass Boston has lost 6 consecutive games and 7 of 8. Beacons 0-5 in conference play, looking for conference win number 1. They've won 2 straight against USM and 11 of 14 overall for the Beacons, 11-3 all-time against the Southern Maine Huskies. Each of their last 2 wins have been 1-goal games against Southern Maine, including a 12-11 overtime win last year. John Powers scored that game winner in overtime. USM comes in averaging about 9 goals a game. They also allow roughly 9 goals a game. Beacons score about 10 goals a game, give up about 11 goals a game. So UMass Boston in white, University of Southern Maine in the navy blue. Your opening face-off between Phil Trong for UMass Boston. He's a junior from nearby Quincy. And Ryan Saul, a sophomore from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, for USM. Your officials today: Brian Lenane, Owen Thompson, and Yahugo Yamaguchi. Goaltender matchup: Craig Freehill for the Beacons, Zach Bissett for Southern Maine. And away we go from here at BC High. Phil Trong knocks it forward and gobbles it up for the Beacons. Under some pressure, Trong works it forward and gets it into the offensive end for UMass Boston. Beacons bouncing around, and Nick Weiss, junior from Westfield, Massachusetts, gains the zone, and here's the first offensive possession for the Beacons. Had a very good second half against Plymouth State after falling behind 10-1 in the first half. Beacons outscored Plymouth State 7-2 in half 2 on Saturday. Touch up top from Michael Kennedy, Beacon sophomore from Hudson, Massachusetts, 2-time All-League in high school. Working around to Weiss, again a junior from Westfield, Massachusetts, and Westfield High School. 6 goals, 7 assists this year. Kennedy takes it back. He scored 13 times with 8 assists in his second season with the Beacons. Weiss with the roll dodge. Has the short stick on him, Del Judas. There's a take in for Donnie Delph, a 3-time All-Conference. Likely will be 4 for 4 in that category. 18 goals, 12 assists already this year as he looks for another Little East spot at the end of the season. Here's Weiss attacking. Good sustained pressure early for the Beacons. Shot up top and a score. Michael Kennedy has the Beacons' first goal of the game. Comes a minute 29 seconds in. UMass Boston on the board first. Fourteenth goal of the year for Michael Kennedy. UMass Boston jumps out in front. First time they've held the lead in a couple of games. Coming off losses to the 2 top teams in the conference, Keene State and Plymouth State. Strong and Saul to do the face-off battle again. It's an area where, at least statistically, you would favor Southern Maine. USM's won 60% of its draws this year. The Beacons just 46%. And here is a win for Saul and the Huskies. First time the offensive unit for USM gets a touch on an attack led by three sophomores, all from West Gardner, Maine, and all from Gardner High School. You hardly ever see three attackmen from the same high school on the same grade on the same collegiate team. These guys have been playing together for 7 years. They were all conference performers in high school as well. Here's midfielder Austin Watts with a bouncing shot wide of goal. Shot is backed up behind net. This is Keegan Smith, one of those three out of West Gardner. Keegan Smith, Seth Wing, and Tyler Jamison, setting a good foundation for this Husky squad. James McStowe, a sophomore from Plymouth, works it to the offensive end. McStowe played at Plymouth North High School, was all South Coast League at Plymouth. Handoff for Keegan Smith, 11 goals, 13 assists this year. He feeds the crease, and a bouncing ball is gobbled up. Beacons take it away with Anthony Tortora, the defensive midfielder. Very solid start for UMass Boston. About 3 minutes in, a 1-0 Beacon lead. Well, UMass Boston has struggled a bit with clearances this year. They're only at 75% of the season. This is a clean clearance, though, as Tortora works it into the offensive end. Noah Ellis touches for the Beacons, leading scorer this year, 29 goals, 9 assists. Junior from Hingham, Massachusetts, won the state Super 8 championship with Hingham his senior year. Super 8, highest championship you can win in the state of Massachusetts, high school-wise. Best 8 teams in the state from all divisions picked to play in the Super 8 tournament. Ellis behind goal, feeds it up top for Delpha. He shoots! Big save! Oh, but set. Stood his ground and made a tough save on the Beacons' 3-time all-conference midi. One of 8 seniors who had his name called on senior day here. Third and final home game of the season for the 4-9 Beacons. Now, Southern Maine fails on the clear. They struggled as well this season, 76% on the clears for the Huskies. That one was thrown away at the midfield. Delpha throws it to the point. Beacons to the offensive end. They've scored on one of their first 2 trips this way. Zach Bissett with a big save on the other one. Here's Dom Fischara. Fischara plays it to Michael Kennedy straight away. Kennedy scored the game's first goal, but this time he has it off for Nick Weiss. Beacons really looking strong on the offensive end so far. Patient possessions, moving the ball well, and then trying to isolate their midfielders for alley dodges and isolated plays. Delpha works it again. Takes it back behind goal, inverting from his midfield position. Now he can probe that Husky defense. Delpha got a step, lays it off. Here's a swim move in for Ellis, and his shot goes wide. All set up by Donnie Delpha, who went behind goal, got a step on his defenseman, drew the slide, and teed up Ellis. Beacons keep possession. Fischera in, knocked into the crease, and the flag comes out. So the Beacons will go a man up as Fischera is shoved in. 30-second push on Southern Maine. See which Husky comes off for the penalty. Looks like this one will go on Michael Martell, a junior from St. Albans, Vermont. Beacons get the 30-second man advantage. They're at 30% of the man up this year. Fischera fires it around. Driving down the alley. There's a shot bouncing away. Looked like Bissett got his foot on it as Kennedy was bidding for a second goal. Ground ball back to the Beacons momentarily, and then it rolls along where it's hockey slapped out to the point and picked up by Delpha of the Beacons. So UMass Boston keeps possession, but has very limited time left on the man up. And now we're back to 6-on-6. Fed to the doorstep. Spin move in, and Fischera is knocked down hard. Great defense from USM. Southern Maine takes it away with Ryan Saul, the midfielder. Well, USM already 0 for 1 on the clearance. Here's another sloppy pass to midfield, bouncing around, and it's right into the stick of Sean LeBlanc, the sophomore from Marshfield, Massachusetts, who has forced 20 turnovers this year. Give LeBlanc his 51st ground ball of the season. One of the best seasons put together by a Beacons defenseman. Here's Ellis working in, and the slide comes to force him away. Good recovery on the defense by James Doyle of Southern Maine. So Beacons have to reset. Couldn't get anything going in the unsettled. Still lead 1-0 about 6.5 minutes in. Cunningham, junior from Hudson, Massachusetts, works around. High school teammate of Michael Kennedy. Joseph Cunningham, 4 goals and an assist last year. 5 goals, 2 assists in his junior season. Here's Fischera from behind goal. Feeds the point, and that shot's high over the goal off the bounce. Cunningham was triggered for the crank. Couldn't find the net. Beacons back it up. Ellis will restart. Well, very good start for UMass Boston. They've dominated the possession. That being said, they lead by just 1. Ellis spins in, and there's a save for Bissett going low. Pretty move by Ellis. Tried for the backhand shovel finish. Bissett was there for his second save of the game. Well, we've gone about 6 minutes without a goal. Only goal this game scored a minute 29 seconds in by Michael Kennedy. Beacons lead by 1 at the midway point of this first quarter. USM gets it into the offensive end. Finally, their first successful clearance. Huskies just 1 for 3 on the day. Keegan Smith with a touch. This is just the second offensive possession for the Huskies, who've turned it over twice on the clearance. Burley Desjardins throws it behind goal, and now Austin Watts recovers. Junior from Westbrook, Maine, started his college career at St. Joseph's. Takes a running shot, and there's Freehill for the save. Craig Freehill, the junior goalie from Norwell, Massachusetts, has his first stop today. He saved 19 shots to keep the Beacons in it against Plymouth State last time out. On the season, Freehill stopped 51% of the shots he's faced, has a 3-5 record. Well, here are the Beacons with the clearance. A perfect 3 for 3 so far on the day, working it to the offensive end. So far, a very clean game for UMass Boston, and it's paid off with tons of offensive zone time. It's going to start to wear down the Husky defense. Played pretty fluidly without a whistle here at the start of this game as well. Flag out, so free possession here for the Beacons. Beautiful work in by Delpha. His shot goes home. Fed the crease, and Michael Kennedy scores again. Delpha set him up. Kennedy finds the back of the net. 2 goals for Kennedy, 15 on the season. Wave off the penalty flag and give the Beacons a 2-0 lead. Comes at the 8:37 mark. Kennedy from Delpha. Trong install for the 3rd time today at the face-off X. Each has 1-1 draw. So far, all 3 face-offs have been good shoveling battles between Trong and Saul. This one works right to the restraining line, and a foul called on USM. So a 2 for 3 start for Phil Trong, the Beacons junior face-off man. UMass Boston up 2-0 with the ball, working to the offensive end. First touch for senior Joe Johnson. First year with the Beacons program. Graduated from Gould Academy back in Maine in 2009. 3 goals, 3 assists. Picked up his team picture and plaque before the game today. Cunningham has it back, so the second midfield unit out there for UMass Boston. Well, now Delpha spins. Roll dodge to the right side to get free. Feeds the crease. And here's Johnson slamming it home. On senior day, Joe Johnson scores his 4th goal of the year. And senior Donnie Delpha tagged him with another assist. Timeout Southern Maine as the Beacons have rolled to a 3-0 start.
Timeout Southern Maine. UMass Boston goal scored by number 33, Joe Johnson.
So Johnson has his 4th goal of the year. Delpha has his 13th and 14th assists of the season. Senior to senior goal on senior day, as the Beacons are off to a very good start. Under 5th-year head coach Tyler Lowe, graduated from Babson in 2009, had his first coaching job the next season. He was a defenseman when he played at the college level, so he's got to be pretty pleased with his defense's start here today. Nothing on the scoreboard for USM, and a Beacon defense that's forced 3 turnovers. Southern Maine 6-5 on the year, 1-4 in Little East play. They're under 4th-year head coach Sam Lane. Under Coach Lane, things have been trending upwards for USM. They've had some tough seasons in the past, but At worst, we'll have a 500 record with just one game to go in the season today. That's coming off a 2-13 season last year. So 5.5 minutes to go, first quarter. 3-0 UMass Boston. 2 goals from Michael Kennedy. 2 assists for Donnie Delpha. And a Joe Johnson goal to lead the home club. Playing about 0.2 miles from the Beacon's home field here on the campus of BC High. At Beacon home field right now, nothing more than a pile of dirt as they renovate the facility. It'll be beautiful next year in time for soccer season and lacrosse season next year. Part of the beautification process going on all throughout the Beacon campus.
There was a penalty on UMass. I think it was the legal equipment of Delphi.
So out of the timeout, it'll be a man up for USM. Donnie Delpho was tagged with an illegal equipment penalty. So a 6-on-5 for the Huskies. Good chance for them to try and break out of their funk. They have yet to score. They trail 3-0 in this first quarter. Keene State's lost 3 in a row, rather. Southern Maine has lost 3 in a row, lost to Keene State, Plymouth State, and UMass. Dartmouth in their last 3. Their last win came against St. Joseph's College. Quick crank from Burley. Desjardins ended up wide. Here's the re-trigger. James McStowe plays it behind goal. Austin Watts, senior, slings it around to sophomore Keegan Smith. Here's Seth Wing, 26 goals this year to lead Southern Maine. On the doorstep, Smith can't hold it. Now he's swarmed, and that is out of bounds off Southern Maine. Third turnover for Southern Maine as Smith couldn't grab it. Had some pressure on him from Tim Milch, the senior from Marshfield, Massachusetts. Beacon's still a man down, so they'll look to kill off that penalty. On the offensive end here, leading 3-0. Milch throws it away at midfield. Unsettled for Seth Wing to the offensive end. Though no numbers for the Huskies, so he works it the other way. We're back to 6-on-6 lacrosse, so even strength as the Huskies come to the offensive end. 4 minutes to go, first quarter. Southern Maine has not scored. Only one shot on goal for Southern Maine to this point. It was stuffed by Craig Freehill. Here's Keegan Smith, twice all-conference, also Kennebec Journal Player of the Year as a senior. He feeds the crease, and there's a goal. Southern Maine on the board. Comes the 11:04 mark of quarter one. Seth Wing with the goal, is 27th of the year. It's unassisted. And it makes it a 3-1 game with 3:56 to go. Finally, the Huskies snap off their collar and get their first goal of the game. Trong and Saul all over it again at the X. Phil Trong's won 2 of the first 3 for the Beacons, and they'll still dig for it on the BC logo. Saul has a stick hacked by Trong, but Saul's got it. Second face-off win for the Huskies. Saul works it backwards, and now here it comes forward. Hornblower feeds it forward unsettled. Milch with the stick check, and there's the turnover. Milch knocks it away from University of Southern Maine's James McStowe. Tom Milch forces the turnover. It's Tim Milch's 13th caused turnover of the season in his senior year with the Beacons. Got a loose ball push on USM, so Beacons get a free restart here as they look to keep their clearance mark perfect today. There's 3 for their first 3 on clears. Pretty easy start for Weiss, and he's into the offensive end. So now Beacons 4 for 4 on the clear. Entered the game at just 75% of the season. Here's Delpha back on the field after his penalty for illegal equipment. 3-1 lead for UMass Boston. Delpha has 2 assists. Tacks down the right lane. And now Ellis takes it. Nothing yet for Noah Ellis, who leads the team with 29 goals this year. Delpha's inverting back behind goal again. This is Weiss who spins. Has Pearson on him. Tees up a shot from straight away, and it's deflected. That never got through off the stick of UMass Boston's Dom Fischera. And it was blocked on the way. Ended up eventually rolling to Bissett, but not before it had been slowed about 75% of the way down by one of the defensemen. In transition, a clearance is good, but now a loose ball, and it ends up right back into the stick of Pearson, who is taken down. Flag comes out. Free possession here for University of Southern Maine. They lose possession. Be a penalty on the Beacons. Wraparound attempt from wing doesn't go. Beacons back it up, and that'll be a penalty on UMass Boston. So I saw the takedown as Pearson was ripped down to the field. Second man up coming for Southern Maine. USM is 0 for its first 1 with the man up. Milch gets the 1-minute tripping call for the Beacons, so UMass Boston not only has to absorb the penalty, but down one of their top close defenders for this penalty kill. McStowe works the point. Sophomore from Plymouth plays it behind goal. Comes around to Keegan Smith of West Gardner, Maine. Gets it off to his high school teammate Seth Wing. 2 sophomores from West Gardner. Bouncing shot goes home. Oh, Austin Watts with a wicked hopper. 19th goal of the year for the junior from Westbrook, Maine. That showed some creativity. He was about 10 yards out, and he bounced it perfectly into the top corner.
Southern Maine man-up goal scored by number 11, Austin Watts.
So 2 goals in the last
23.
2 minutes, 19 seconds for Austin Watts. And the University of Southern Maine, Wing scored the first, Watts the second, and now the Beacons leads down to just 1. Same face-off duo, Trong and Saul. So far split it 2 for 4, make it 3 for 5, as there's a wing ground ball for Sean LeBlanc. We're back to 6-on-6 lacrosse after the man-up goal for Southern Maine. Beacons lead 3-2. Haven't scored in about 5 minutes. Beautiful feed to the slot, and there's a save for Bissett. Heck of an effort for LeBlanc, who tried to stick it home with a long pole. Into the offensive end. This is just thrown away. USM turned it over. That was David Donovan, the long stick committed to the offensive end. And now a flag down behind the play as the Beacons work it forward. Looked like the goaltender Freehill got just obliterated. Now Donnie Delpha to the offensive end. Extra pass in front, and it's a slam dunk goal. Noah Ellis sticks it home. A 4-2 lead. Ellis from Powers. Beacons doubling up the Huskies.
UMass Boston goal scored by number 11, Noah Ellis. Assisted by number 12, Dom Fischera.
30th goal of the year for Noah Ellis. In fact, credit that assist to Dom Fischera, his third of the season.
32 for unnecessary roughness on.
That penalty will stand as well. Unnecessary roughness call on University of Southern Maine's Seth Wing, their sophomore attacker, who had a brutal hit on Craig Freehill. So it'll be a 6-on-5 if the Beacons can win the face-off. They do have the 3-on-2 advantage in between the restraining lines here. Trong and Saul, 1-on-1, puts extra pressure on Saul to try and win this draw himself as he's down on a wingman. Trong kicks it back and perfectly executes that man-up face-off. Kicked it right to an unguarded Zach Medeiros. Here's a timeout for UMass Boston. Head coach Tyler Lowe wants to talk things over with 30 seconds on the first quarter timer. Beacons leading 4-2, and with a man-up coming. Well, it's a strong start for the Beacons, trying to snap a 6-game losing streak. Their last win came 27 days ago. Beat up Mount Ida College on March 25th. Beacons had a strong start to this season. They beat Anna Maria and Becker College down in Florida. Lost at Gordon College and at Nichols College before then beating Bard College to go to 3-2 on the year. Then played at Florida Tech on that same Florida trip. Lost that one 17-6. They were sitting at 3-3 on the year, but they came back to beat Mount Ida College, go to 4-3. Since then, 6 straight losses. Couple close ones. 3-goal loss to Salem State. And the 4-goal loss to Plymouth State, though, that scoreline was a bit more lopsided midway through. On the other side for Southern Maine, they started the year 2-0 as well, beat Hudson and New England College. Then they lost to the University of New England. Obliterated Maine Farmington 18-1 to go to 3-1 on the year before losing to Eastern Connecticut State. 3 more wins in a row for University of Southern Maine against Maine Maritime, Salem State, and St. Joseph's. Put them at 6-2 on the season. But then they lost 3 in a row. UMass, Dartmouth, Plymouth State, and Keene State. 4-goal loss to UMass Dartmouth. 1-goal loss to Plymouth State before being hammered by 12 last time out against Keene State. Now a 4-2 lead for the Beacons, who've won 11 of 14 all-time against Southern Maine, and have won the last 2 years by a goal in each game. 30 seconds on the first quarter timer. Beacons with the man up. We'll start it with Michael Kennedy, the sophomore who has 2 goals already today for UMass Boston. Beacons hold it with Noah Ellis behind goal. He draws some contact. Ellis picked up by Spencer Tuttle. Just 5 seconds left in the quarter. Looks like the Beacons will hold it to keep possession with the man up, heading to quarter number 2. And that's exactly what will happen. The UMass Boston with the ball when we return in quarter 2. It's the Beacons 4 and the Southern Maine Huskies 2 after 1 on LittleEast.tv.
Score after 1 quarter of play. Your UMass Boston Beacons 4, University of Southern Maine 2. Just a reminder, fans, your Beacons will close out the 2015 regular season this Friday, when they travel to UMass Dartmouth for a 7 p.m. Little East Conference contest.
And we're back here at the James Cotter Field on the campus of Boston College High School. Beautiful turf facility. Beacons lead 4-2 after a quarter. Took the lead on Southern Maine 3-0. Southern Maine scored 2 in a row to make it 3-2. Beacons came back with another goal to go up 4-2. 2 goals for Michael Kennedy and 1 apiece for Joe Johnson and Noah Ellis for UMass Boston. Meanwhile, for the Huskies of Southern Maine, goals for Seth Wing and Austin Watts. UMass Boston trying to snap the 6-game losing streak and get their first conference win. They need to win both games this week, tonight and Friday night against UMass Dartmouth, to have a shot at the Little East playoffs. Southern Maine's in a similar boat at 1-4 on the season. They also could use 2 regular season wins to end the year. Southern Maine will wrap up its season Friday as well. They'll play Western Connecticut State, who is tied with UMass Dartmouth just a game ahead of Southern Maine. So even with a loss today, the Huskies would have a chance in a head-to-head against Western Connecticut State to beat them and possibly work their way into the playoff picture. Beacons in white, Southern Maine in navy. Because the Beacons had possession at the end of the quarter, they'll keep it here with the man up to start quarter 2. Able to carry possession over when you have the man advantage, as long as you don't take a shot at the buzzer. Delpha's pass is blocked. He takes it back along the sideline. Delpha was hit by David Donovan, and now here's a reach trigger out to the point. Powers on the left alley dodge. Plays it off to the right side. A feed through the crease. And it rolls back to the point. Delpha's got it for the Beacons at midfield. Back to 6-on-6 as Delpha spins it right side. Even strength, so Southern Maine survives with 1 minute man down, trailing just the 4-2. Delpha handcuffed on the pass. That was a tough one, slid through by Nick Weiss, and it rolls right out of bounds. So it's a Beacon turnover. About a minute in, Southern Maine will get the clearance attempt. USM 2 for 5 so far today on the clears. Midfield pass right into the stick of Austin Watts, and he works it to the offensive end. Absorbed a rodeo check from the midfielder, Delpha, and now he's to the offensive end. Jeff Erstrom gets his first run today, sophomore from Bellingham, Massachusetts, second line attackman. He takes a pick, works right side, lays it to the point. McStowe fires it and misses wide. So James McStowe couldn't put it on goal, but USM backs it up. Here's Keegan Smith. Played out to Eddie Barrasso, junior from Wilmington, Massachusetts. Did not play last year. Has 9 goals, 3 assists this season for the Huskies. Now McStowe holds 7 goals, 2 assists this year for James McStowe. Down the left side, he feeds the crease, and it's under the stick of Smith. He could have laid it in from the right doorstep. There was nobody on him, but he couldn't catch the pass. So another turnover about 2 minutes in as Barrasso's pass, and Keegan Smith couldn't get on the other end. That's 5 turnovers on Southern Maine, and the Huskies give it right back to UMass Boston. Beacons lead 4-2. They've led from start to finish at this point. Good stick skills there to the offensive end by Anthony Tortora, who absorbed a couple of hits and gets it to the offensive end. Beacons get the clearance again. They've been very good on the clears so far today, which hasn't always been the case this season. Fischera plays it up top, and Delpha's there again. 2 assists today for Donnie Delpha. One of them to this guy, Joe Johnson, senior from Roxbury, Massachusetts, getting good run time on senior day. Taking part of the role that had been occupied by Ryan McGough. 17 goals this year for the senior McGough, but he's on the sideline in crutches today after a knee injury. Delpha gets his hands free, and his shot is over the goal. Beacons back it up. Good quick move by Delpha, who held his hands out, pulled them back in tight, and let that shot go from a long way out. Fischera absorbs the check from Sam Hornblower, freshman from Portland, Maine. Played 3 seasons at Deering Academy. Fischera has his pass deflected. Delpha tries to keep it in and does. Tiptoes the sidelines and absorbs a check. Somehow he kept his feet in again as Pearson harassed him along the side. Well, fancy footwork from Donnie Delpha. Rookie of the Year in 2012, 3-time All-Little East Conference selection. Johnson feeds it through, and that split the difference right between the cutting Noah Ellis and Joseph Cunningham. Would have been 3 points through the uprights if this was football. Instead, just a turnover for Johnson. About 4 minutes in, still 4-2 in quarter 2. And neither side has scored in this second quarter. Beacons off to a 4-2 lead. 15th all-time meeting between the Beacons and the Huskies. UMass Boston's 11-3 all-time, has won the last two meetings. Includes last year, 12-11 win for UMass Boston up in Gorham, Maine. Beacons got a goal from John Powers in overtime to win it. Burley Desjardins to the offensive end. Works it behind goal to Nate Del Judas, freshman from Oakland, Maine. This is fed to the crease, and it slips under Keegan Smith's stick. So Del Judas' pass would have had Keegan Smith wide open, but it missed Smith, and Tortora takes it back for the Beacons. He's twice been a one-man clear, and he gets it to the offensive end. Beacons successful getting it in again. Donnie Delphus sent it to the point. Kennedy walks it down, feeds the doorstep, and Ellis scores! Michael Kennedy, the assist in the goal for Noah Ellis. Was it Kennedy or 28? Was it Powers? I had Powers. So give the goal to Ellis, his second, and we'll credit the assist to John Powers, his fourth of the year. So 31 goals now for Noah Ellis. He has back-to-back Beacon goals, separated by about 5 minutes. Really good start for UMass Boston. And another face-off win for Trong. He's won 2/3 of them so far. Beacons unsettled in the skip pass. Didn't get through from Trong. That was strong stick work defensively from David Donovan. Long stick midi got his stick to it. Beacons run it forward. Delpha in. Feeds it down low. Ellis the extra pass, and it bounces underneath Powers' stick. So the Beacons turn it over. Ellis tried to make that fancy pass. Now he hassles after it, knocks it free, and wins it back for the Beacons. He popped it first out of the goalie Bassett stick, and then right out of Donovan's. Caused turnover for Ellis' fourth of the season. Beacons up 5-2, looking for more. Though this pass will sail to the sideline and out of bounds. Now back-to-back turnovers for Ellis, sandwiched around a caused turnover. Still a 5-2 lead for UMass Boston. Huskies trying to get some type of offense going. They've been very inconsistent, pretty sloppy. Burley Desjardins dances along the crease, and he's into the crease. Shoulder bumped on the way through by Zach Medeiros, the short stick defensive midi, who played him tight. That's a Desjardins turnover. I believe that's 8 turnovers for Southern Maine. Beacons 6 minutes into the second quarter with the 5-2 lead, though there was a huge hit. Medeiros was triple teamed and then just walloped by Mike Martell. Mike Martell hammered him to cause that turnover. So USM gets it right back. It's only the second failed clearance of the day for the Beacons. Keegan Smith works it into the back 10. Dancing along the doorstep, Smith to the front. triggers the point, and there's some miscommunication from Southern Maine. Seemed like Austin Watts and Eddie Barrasso ran too tight into each other. Huskies do get the ball back off the ground ball. Smith works on Delpha. Don't often see Donnie Delpha play on the defensive end. Great pass in front, and that shot is whistled wide. Tyler Jamison, the third of those three West Gardner, Massachusetts natives who played at Gardner High, couldn't finish that one. All three of them were first-team all-conference their senior year at Gardner High School. Surprisingly, on a team in the state of Maine that had three college prospects, they did not win the state championship in Maine. Low underhanded shot, and Freehill has the save. That was Ermston who put it on. Ermston gets it back, skips a pass across. Smith down low, and he scores. Keegan Smith the goal after Freehill made a couple of saves. Scores the first goal for Southern Maine in the second quarter, and it comes about 7 minutes in.
Southern Maine goal scored by number 2, Keegan Smith, assisted by number 12, Jeff Ermston.
Keegan Smith's first goal of the day, his 12th of the season. 12 goals, 13 assists for the sophomore. So it's a 5-3 game. Beacon's lead's been as large as 3, as small as 1. It's been the same face-off duo all game. Phil Trong for UMass Boston, Ryan Saul for USM. Saul's won 60% of the face-offs he's taken this year, but Trong has won 4 of the first 6 now, 4 of 7, as Southern Maine gets the ground ball with Zach Ham. Zach Ham played the wing there, sophomore from Brunswick, Maine, and now the freshman goalie, Zach Bissett, starts it forward. Watts over the restraining line into the box. Junior from Westbrook, Maine, works it into the corner. Pretty localized University of Southern Maine squad. More than half the roster from the state of Maine. Rest peppered from all throughout New England. Here's some really strong pressure from Daniel Coelho, junior from Medford, Massachusetts. Still it comes through, and a good-looking shot from Austin Watts, who scores his second. Watts ran it around. Coelho then drew contact from Tortora and still finished.
Southern Maine unassisted goals scored by number 11, Austin Watts.
Give Watts his second of the day, his 20th goal of the year. 2 goals separated by only about 47 seconds. So Southern Maine's back to within 1 at 5-4. Now, you expect a close game between these two teams. 1-goal games each of the past 2 seasons. Both those games are Beacon wins. Beacons win in a battle for that loose ball. Get it forward, unsettled for Powers. Fakes the pass and now brings it back behind goal. John Powers, one of 8 Beacon seniors here on Senior Day. Senior from Marshfield, Massachusetts. Had 56 points last year, 36 goals, 20 assists. 12 goals, 3 assists this season for Powers. Delpha gets in, and his shot's deflected. Bissett got his stick to it, as Delphi was close in. Somehow the defense just left him and he was wide open. Now Delphi takes it again. So quick on his feet, senior from Walpole, Massachusetts. Here's the junior Weiss. Now the sophomore Kennedy. He's bumped, double teamed, but's able to muscle a pass down low. Ellis takes it for the Beacons. Fires it through and it bounces off Power's stick. Beacons keep it alive. Good ground ball recovered. It ends up right back into the stick of Fischera. Less than 6 minutes to go, second quarter, 5 for UMass Boston, but it's a 2-0 Southern Maine run. One of the issues for the Beacons this year has been allowing some long runs the other way, so this is a situation where they have a chance to stop a run before it really gets going, and there's a big play to do it! Nick Weiss scores, muscling in and leaping for a goal. Reestablishes a 2-goal Beacon lead with 5:57 to go in the quarter. Nick Weiss with the finish. 12 goals, 10 assists on the, or rather last year. It's his 7th goal this year to go along with 7 assists. Timeout Southern Maine after the Beacons goal. So a 6-4 lead for UMass Boston. You're pretty satisfied with how they've started today after some tough contests. Fell into huge holes early against Keene State and Plymouth State. Well, that being said, you're going up against the two teams undefeated in conference play. Plymouth State 11-1 on the year, 5-0 in Little East play. Keene State 8-4 on the season, 5-0 in Little East play. Those two will battle it out head-to-head tonight for the regular season championship. Plymouth State and Keene State, 5 p.m. start up in Keene, New Hampshire. Keene State was the near unanimous pick to win the conference in the preseason poll. Had 7 of the 8 votes. They were ahead of Eastern Connecticut State, who's slipped in to 3rd place this year with a 3-2 record. Plymouth State was only picked down in the 5 spots. They're a bit of a surprise 5-0 Little East team. Beacons were picked 6th, ahead of Southern Maine and Salem State, though currently UMass Boston sits in 7th, make it 8th place in the conference at 0-5. Chance, though, to move up into that 6th spot if they can finish the season with wins against Southern Maine and UMass Dartmouth. It would put them at 2-5 at the end of the year, and then with just a little bit of help, either a Salem State win over UMass Dartmouth or a couple other things that could break in different directions, Beacons would still find a way to inch into that final playoff spot. Top 6 teams make the Little East Conference tournament. Phil Trong and Ryan Saul. Trong has a 4-3 face-off lead so far. Wing battle, and again it ends up going towards UMass Boston. Ground ball for Sean LeBlanc. Sophomore from Marshfield, Massachusetts, Archbishop Williams High School down in Braintree. And he's put together a great season. 2 goals, 2 assists, along with 50 ground balls and 20 caused turnovers coming into the game. You'll expect him to make a Little East All-Star team at the end of the year. Michael Kennedy has scored twice today. Works it down the right alley. Comes around for Noah Ellis. Final 5 minutes of the second quarter. Pass to Powers in the slot. Works in. And a big save on the bouncer for Bissett. It's his 4th of the game. Keeps the Beacon lead at just 2. It was a good effort on that attempt by Powers, who went from his right hand to his left to try and get it to go. Southern Maine to the offensive end. Crank from distance is turned aside by Freehill. It's a big wind from Seth Wing, but it was stuffed. Now a re-trigger and a goal. Austin Watts got teed up, and there's his hat-trick goal at 6-5. #21st goal of the year for Watts. Off a beautiful feed.
Number 11, Austin Watts. Assisted by number 2, Keegan.
Give Keegan Smith the assist. He was sitting there behind goal. Made a quick trigger pass to Watts. And Watts had an easy time and space to rip that shot home. Taking a new face-off man for the University of Southern Maine, trying to change things up. Southern Maine sends James McStowe, and that's James with a Z. Jaymz McStowe out of Plymouth, Massachusetts. The more unique ways to spell James. Hey, be different. Beacons get the face-off win, though, so it doesn't matter if there's a different guy in the X. It's still been UMass Boston dominating the early draws. We've had 12 face-offs. Beacons have won 7 of the 12. It's a good catch by Delpha to work it into the offensive end. Beacons have been pretty solid on the clears today as well. Delpha tees up Wees. His shot's denied. Though we have a whistle. In fact, that went out of bounds. Beacons back it up. Looked like Bissett might have gotten a piece, but I think that went clean over the goal. Here's Kennedy. Twice all-league in high school, and he has a hat-trick goal today. Michael Kennedy, a one-on-one battle, and he beat it past the defender, Hornblower, and into the back of the net. Now, Kennedy had the game's first 2 goals. His 3rd goal comes with 3:06 to play in quarter 2.
Boston, unassisted goal scored by number 24, Michael Kennedy. That's his 3rd of the game.
2 goals in 56 seconds for the Beacons. Their lead is back to 2. 7-5, UMass Boston. Beacons had a 4-2 lead at the end of the first quarter. Each team has scored 3 goals here in the second. It was a slow start offensively for both sides. We had just 1 goal through the first 7 minutes. But Both these teams have picked up their offense over the past about 15 minutes of game action, turning this into an offensive slugfest. Nate Del Judas works behind goal. Freshman from Oakland, Maine, plays it off to the right side and it's reset up. Oakland, Maine, about as far northeast as you can get in the continental United States without being in Canada. As this pass goes away, way up there on I-95, just before you get to Caribou and cross the border. They have some long winters up in that part of the state. You wonder how they ever get the snow off the field in time to play lacrosse. It's a tough pass straight out of bounds and another turnover for Southern Maine. Up to double-digit turnovers through this game. And the Beacons turn it right back over on the clear as Wees got bumped into. Burley Desjardins hit him hard. Just 2 minutes left in this second quarter. Beacon leads still 2. Had that lead vacillate between a goal and 3 goals in this second quarter. Cody Hutchins on the alley dodge. Works it behind goal and throws it away again. Might have gotten some help on the defense there. It was a strong play by the Beacons. Looked like Daniel Watson, the senior midfielder from Chapel Hill, North Carolina, got into the game and made a stick check there to force the turnover. Now Watson carries it straight away. To give Watson tons of credit for the defense he made there, and now the Beacons work it to the offensive end where the ball's thrown away. Now there was a flag down, so the Beacons will keep possession here. A penalty on the University of Southern Maine. Gives the Beacons a man up as they try to close out this second quarter in the first half with a goal.
7 illegal body check, 1 minute.
It's a 1-minute illegal body check on Del Judas, the freshman from Oakland, Maine. .82 seconds to go in quarter 2. Beacons have the game's last goal and overall have a 7-5 lead over Southern Maine. UMass Boston looking for its first conference win of the year. Southern Maine's trying to snap a 3-game losing streak. Power straight away. Beacons on the man up. They're 0 for 2 so far with the extra man. That bounced right off the stick of Kennedy, and it's free. Right into the stick of the University of Southern Maine's midfielder, Ryan Saul. So Saul works it to the offensive end. In through the circle, he plays it right side. Keegan Smith in over the box, plays it off left side. Here's a step in, but no shot from Austin Watts. If Southern smart here, they'll just eat up the final 15 seconds of the penalty and get things back to 6-on-6. Barrasso works it behind goal. 5 seconds away from even strength play. Barrasso to the doorstep, and he loses the ball straight out of bounds. He was bumped by Tortora and Milch. They'll rule it a shot. I'm not sure about that. It looked like it was a body check that knocked the ball free. Well, it stays with Southern Maine. Final 19 seconds of this first half, and a 7-5 lead for the Beacons. Here's good defense by David Barry behind goal, but now a flag comes out. With 5 seconds left in the quarter, Southern Maine can hold it, and they'll start half two with a man advantage. Huskies run out the clock, and that does it for half number one. It will be a man up for USM at the start of quarter three, but still a pretty satisfactory half number one for UMass Boston. Beacons build a 7-5 lead after the first 30 minutes. We'll be back with the second half in a bit here on LittleEast.tv. And we're back here at BC High School, heading to half number 2. UMass Boston leads the University of Southern Maine 7-5 after a half. Let's take a look at those first half statistics. Beacons outshot Southern Maine 19-14. UMass Boston dominated on the faceoffs and forced 12 Southern Maine turnovers. That led to a big extra chances and possession for the Beacons. They had a big advantage in time of possession, but 6 saves for Zach Bissett kept Southern Maine in it, so it is just a 2-goal lead for the Beacons as we head to half number 2. Beacons got 3 goals from Michael Kennedy to lead the way. Southern Maine was led by 3 goals from Austin Watts. Beacons looking for their first win in 27 games, trying to snap a 6-game losing streak. It'll be their first win in 27 days. Southern Maine looking to snap a 3-game losing streak. So we'll see if the Beacons can get things going. 15 minutes on the clock for quarter 3. Half hour of lacrosse left between the Beacons and the Southern Maine Huskies. Other goal scorers for the Beacons today, 2 for Noah Ellis, and 1 apiece for Johnson and Smith for Southern Maine has scored as well. So 7-5 lead for UMass Boston. So Beacons have, again, the 3 goals from Kennedy, 2 goals from Ellis, a goal apiece for Weiss and Johnson. Here's a bounce shot and a 4th goal right off the bat for Southern Maine's Austin Watts. Starting half 2 with an exclamation point, 16 seconds in. Austin Watts picks up his 22nd goal of the year.
Huskies man-up goal scored by number 11, Austin Watts.
A man-up goal, 16 seconds in. Back to 6-on-6 now as the penalty releases, but a 7-6 lead for the University, or rather for UMass Boston, as USM has cut the deficit to 1. Beacons led 3-0 early. USM closed it to 3-2. Beacons stretched the lead back out to 5-2 before USM made it 5-4. Here's a win for Phil Trong, and the Beacons get their first possession. Now Phil Trong now 9 for 13 at the faceoff X. USM closed it back to 6-5 in the first half before the Beacons ended the half with a Michael Kennedy goal to make it 7-5. And now we stand at 7-6. Southern Maine has made a goalie change as well. John Bossy is into the game. Pass to the slot is knocked around and run down momentarily by Powers, who now overruns it, and it ends up in the stick of Sam Hornblower. Hornblower to the offensive end, and here comes Southern Maine. Bossy, the goalie in for Southern Maine, a freshman from nearby Bill Ricca. Takes the place of Bissett. Right on the doorstep. Oh, what a chance. And it was missed. Right in front of the goal, Spencer Tuttle had all kinds of space and just airmailed it. Shot is backed up by the Huskies. Would have tied the game for the first time other than 0-0. Southern Maine trying to come out with a huge run to start this second half. Beacons again led by 2 at halftime. This is Seth Wing, scored the first goal for Southern Maine.
Collette's also in for the Beacons.
Beacons have made a goalie change as well. A.J. Collette is in, and he makes a save right off the bat. Collette and Freehill have each played in 8 games this year, so 9th game for Collette. Not a surprise to see him play some, as now we're tied on Watt's 5th goal of the game. Austin Watts, the turnaround crank, his 5th goal of the game. So at the 1:34 mark of quarter 3, we're all square for the first time since it was 0-0.
Number 11, Austin Watts.
Well, in 11 games coming in, Austin Watts had 18 goals. He has 5 goals through 31 minutes and 34 seconds of this game against the Beacons. It's 7-all Beacons and Huskies. Now here's Phil Trong, who continues to keep UMass Boston into the game. But now Trong throws it away. He had his 10th face-off win. There's his first turnover of the day. Southern Maine looking for its 3rd goal of the first couple minutes of this half. It would put USM up for the first time. Beautiful pass and a slam dunk finish. That's James McStowe scoring off the feed from Keegan Smith. So McStowe scores the 3rd goal in 1 minute and 50 seconds for the Huskies. They have their first lead of the game at 8-7. It's a 3-0 run for Southern Maine. We've talked about how the Beacons this year have struggled with allowing big runs. It's the danger zone here. Need a face-off win from Strong. He's won 10 out of 14 so far today. Bounces this one forward, but lost sight of it, and it ends up in the stick of Zach Ham. So Ham, sophomore from Brunswick, Maine, to the offensive end. Here's Eddie Barrasso, junior from Wilmington, Massachusetts. Barrasso works it down low, and now it comes back up top. This is Tyler Jamison to touch it. Jamison, Seth Wing, and Keegan Smith were all classmates at West Gardner High School, West Gardner, Maine. All were all conference performers as well, and decided they like playing with each other so much that they've made up the starting attack unit at USM. Here's a jump shot wide from Burley Desjardins. Southern Maine looking for its 4th goal in the first 3 minutes of this second half. They were down 7-5 at halftime. Watts tees it up. On the right doorstep. Underhand shot is blocked. It was a look for Keegan Smith, and he shot it right off the leg of David Barry, all the way out of bounds. Now Barry earns a bruise, but at least that bruise comes with a turnover. Beacon possession. Got to chase down a ball that's popping all the way underneath the bleachers on the far side. Got on the campus of BC High, beautiful turf facility here for the BC High Eagles. Just to our right is the UMass Boston campus and the Bay. Austin Watts works it to the offensive end. Make that Noah Ellis for the Beacons. Austin Watts on the other side for USM with 5 of the 8 goals for the Huskies. Joseph Cunningham, Jr. from Hudson, Massachusetts, feeds it in front, and Power scores! Ends a 3-0 run. Cunningham's 3rd assist, and it's Power's first goal of the game. 3rd assist of the season for Cunningham. Power's 13th goal.
UMass Boston goal scored by number 28, John Powers. Assisted by number 2, Joseph Cunningham.
So Powers makes it 8-8. On Senior Day, the Beacon seniors have done some good work. Donnie Delpha has a couple of assists. Both Powers and Johnson have scored. Not to mention the defense of Tim Milch, who's cost a couple of turnovers as well for UMass Boston on Senior Day. So either side as we are just 3.5 minutes into this third quarter. Goals aplenty. 4 goals scored in the first 3.5 minutes of the quarter. 11th face-off win for Trong on 16 attempts, and he gets this one forward to the offensive end. That was Fischera walking through a check right to the doorstep. Fischera is stick-checked, and that ball comes down. Great defense there from the long stick midi David Donovan to knock it out. And now Southern Maine starts the clearance. Here's a bobble. Ball rolling free. It is soccered forward by Daniel Watson and taken back by Southern Maine. Important ground ball for Zach Ham. And he hands it off to Austin Watts. 5 goals today for Watts, a junior from Westbrook, Maine. 14 goals last season with St. Joseph's. This is his first year with the Huskies. Here's Eddie Barrasso straight away. Couple of pick set, and then that's airmailed. Whew. That had a jetpack on it as it flew way out of bounds. Barrasso with the turnover. Southern Maine's given it away 15 times already today. Eight scoreline. Southern Maine has had just the one lead at 8-7. Beacons had the lead the entire first half. Jumped out to a 3-0 lead. Led 7-5 at halftime. Look at the swim move there by Tortora. And now he works his way behind goal to Ellis. Might have had a chance for a shot there, but he's more of a defensive-focused midfielder, so instead he'll tee up the offensive middies and sub off the field. Powers gets a head start, and he's knocked. Jeff Ermston really hit him hard. Ball comes back to the Beacons. Ermston, defensive midi, a sophomore from Bellingham, Massachusetts. Shot from the point goes wide for Kennedy. He was bidding for his 4th. Seen a couple of good individual efforts today. 3 goals for Kennedy for the Beacons. 5 for Austin Watts and Southern Maine. This is Watts working one-on-one. Spins his way on Donovan. Feed to Powers. Tough catch. And there's the save. Oh, big save from Bossy is first as Powers had it point-blank range. It'll be a hold on Southern Maine to keep possession with UMass Boston. But Powers just missed a great chance off that Bossy save. Cunningham attacks right alleyway. This is Ellis holding behind goal. Junior from Hingham. State champ is a high school senior. He's one-on-one with Donovan. Roll dodge. Bumped off. And he can't get free. Tight defense this quarter from USM after allowing 7 goals in the first half. Delpha sidewinder pass. Ends up with Ellis. 2 goals already for Ellis. Here's a crank and a score! Noah Ellis goes sidewinder. Beacons back on top.
UMass Boston unassisted goal scored by number 11, Noah Ellis.
The 6:43 mark of quarter number 3. It is already the 5th goal of the quarter. Beacons second. USM has 3. Beacons have answered with a 2-0 run after the Husky 3-0 run. So hat-trick goal for Ellis, his 32nd of the season. Go along with 9 assists. This face-off ends up skipping with the Huskies. Haven't won many. That's just face-off win number 5 for Southern Maine. Time it was McStowe taking the draw. They started with Saul, who was a 60% face-off winner this year, but he couldn't figure out Phil Trong, the Beacons junior from nearby Quincy. McStowe trying his luck now in the second half. Stutter step, and now the attack by Desjardins. From Brunswick, Maine, that's the home of Bowdoin College. Works it back up top. Watts shoulders in. Tees McStowe up momentarily. McStowe's pass is blocked. And now a push on Southern Maine. That was great defense there. Give it to Daniel Coloho, the caused turnover as he got his stick on it. Now we have a whistle, and Beacons get it back again off a push. See if UMass Boston can be successful on another clear. They've only failed twice today. Much better than their season average. Oh, look at the spin move by LeBlanc. With the long pole, he works his way into the offensive end. Little dipsy do. And now the Beacons are set up top. This is Weiss. Scored in the second quarter. Beacons get set up. I caught some of what the Beacon coaches were saying at halftime. They were very pleased with the offensive possessions their teams were having. As that save is stuffed, LeBlanc was bidding for a third goal. Bossy wasn't having it. Beacons have had these long, drawn-out possessions where they've worked possession and made things difficult on the Husky defense. So they're looking for more of the same in quarter two. Rather, have to. Quarter three. 9-8 lead for the Beacons. They've been outscored 3-2 in this third quarter, but still lead by a goal. Here's Austin Watts, already 5 goals. Now he's free, and he bounces it wide. At the last second, LeBlanc came over to throw a shoulder into him. But boy, the day Watts has had today, seeing him with open space is a scary proposition if you're a Beacon defenseman or even a Beacon fan. Start and stop for Adam Rolke, rather. Tyler Jamieson, who works it behind goal. His pass is blocked. Bounced off the stick of Milch and now rolls around. And here's the ground ball. Daniel Watson picked it up. Beacons go unsettled. They feed it forward. Bouncing ball into the stick of Ellis. And he scores! Oh, that was a fortuitous bounce, but Noah Ellis picks up his 4th goal of the game. 3-0 Beacons run, lead back to 2. What a sequence there for UMass Boston. LeBlanc forced the turnover, was picked up by Daniel Watson. He threw a long pass forward. It bounced off a USM stick, ended up in the stick of Ellis, and he scored. 33 goals now for Ellis. A necessary roughness penalty on Southern Maine as well. At the end of that play, James Doyle in the box. So a big face-off, but Ryan Saul got his stick to it. He's knocked down. Strong chases it down. Beacons get the scramble face-off win. Strong was just obliterated, but the Beacons keep possession, and now they have about 15 seconds left on the man up. UMass Boston has struggled with the extra man today. That's maybe the one blemish on the offensive end so far for the Beacons. Here's a fake pass. Good stick work by Donnie Delpha, who had 2 first-quarter assists. He's been quiet since. Beacon slinging it around to the point. Kennedy, extra pass here in front. There's a big save by Bossy. Turned aside the chance for Fischera. Oh, that was a great chance for Fischera because Kennedy, who was the hot shooter today, faked everybody, looked like he was going to shoot, and made the extra pass. Penalty released. We're back to 6-on-6 hockey. Good clear for Southern Maine. 4:25 to go, quarter 3. Huskies trail by 2. They got their first lead of the game with a 3-0 run early this quarter. Put them up 8-7, but they haven't scored in the last 8 minutes. That shot was whistled wide by Keegan Smith, who spun his way from behind goal and tried to find his second goal of the game. In fact, Southern Maine had 3 goals in the first minute and 50 seconds of this third quarter. But they haven't scored since. Now a 9-minute stretch without a goal for the Huskies, who loop it up top. Midfielder Jeff Ermston holds. Now it comes around. This is Barrasso. No space. Extra pass in front. And a finish. James McStowe puts Southern Maine within 1. Ends the 9-minute drought for Southern Maine. The 11-14 mark of quarter 3. Back to a 1-goal game.
James McStowe, assisted by number 2, Keegan Smith.
Well, UMass Boston and University of Southern Maine have played back-to-back 1-goal games, both won by the Beacons. So not surprising to see this 10-9 scoreline with only 3:46 remaining. Strong got the face-off win, took a hit and kept possession. Comes back around to Colaho. Beacons get the ground ball with LeBlanc and now try to work the clearance, but LeBlanc overshot Milch and turns it over. That's a tough break for UMass Boston. Strong really gutted out the face-off win, but the Beacons couldn't keep possession. Here's a right side shot. Doesn't go. That was Keegan Smith again going for it. It's been more aggressive in this third quarter. Just has 1 goal today. A sloppy catch by Cody Hutchins, though he's absorbed with the push, so he'll keep possession. Hutchins, a sophomore from Virginia, Vermont, hasn't played much today. 2 goals on the season. They'll back it out top for Tyler Jamison. Works off the pick. Spins back into trouble. Maybe not the smartest decision for Jamison. And then he throws it away. So had a chance to go to the right alley. Instead, spun into a double team, then turned it over. Sums up some of the offensive possessions the Huskies have had today. Been sloppy. Close to 20 turnovers now for Southern Maine. So the Beacon lead still 1, even though they've been outscored this quarter 4-2 after a 7-5 halftime lead. Rather, outscored 4-3. It's broadcaster math for you over here. Beacon successful on the clear. Been very good getting the ball into the offensive end today. Got to really credit how they've handled their clearances. Here's LeBlanc, who likes to find his way out to the offensive end. He sets up Powers, and Bossy got a piece for the save. LeBlanc with a beautiful feed with that long pole. Beacons on the backup, keep possession. Fischera tees it up top to White to Weiss. Nick Weiss, couple of fakes. Bump from behind. Weiss hit hard by Drew Shane. Beacons, though, keep possession. This is Kennedy, 3 goals already. Now on senior day, the senior Delpha Works right side. No goals yet for Delphi today, but he does have a couple of assists. Turned into just a gorgeous afternoon here for lacrosse as well. Just off the water, temperature in the mid-60s. It was cloudy when we first got here today, but it has really opened up. Nice sunny afternoon. There's a little shoulder shimmy, and Noah Ellis decides to back things out and be patient. These are the types of possessions that Beacons were having in the first couple of quarters as well. Long, patient possessions. Ellis got cute with the pass, deflected by Hornblower. Flag is down, and it looks like the Beacons will keep possession here. Man up coming for UMass Boston as well.